The house is too quiet. I turn on the TV. I do not watch it. I just want the sound of a voice. It is Saturday morning. It is early October. My daughter Zinnia is 8 years old. She left this morning. Her father Evander takes her for the weekend. This is the third Saturday. The third Saturday after I sign the divorce papers. I go to the kitchen. I put water on for coffee. I open the cabinet. I reach for 2 cups. Then I stop. I only need 1 cup now. I put the second cup back on the shelf, but I hold it first. I hold it in both hands. I look at it for a moment. Then I pour the coffee away. I wash the cup. I dry it. I put it back in the cabinet. The door closes. That is all. I do not cry. I say nothing. I just move. I always just keep moving. And I think that is my problem. I look at the front door. Evander's jacket is still on the hook. He forgets it every time. And I forget to give it back. Not because I miss Evander. I just always have other things on my mind. I look at the fridge. Zinnia's drawings cover the fridge. She draws suns. Big yellow suns with long spiky edges. I reach out and touch one with my finger. I do not know what I feel. I do not know if that is normal. I think about this morning. Before Zinnia leaves, she asks me a question. She says, "Mom, what do you do today?" I smile at her. I say, "Oh, I have lots of things to do today." That is not true. I have nothing to do today. For the first time in 10 years, I have a Saturday alone. No one to feed, no one to drive, no one who needs anything from me. I stand in the kitchen. The TV plays in the other room. A woman on a cooking show talks and laughs. I do not watch. I just need the sound of another voice in the house. Then, my phone rings. It is my mother. Her name is Lucinda. She calls every Saturday morning, every Saturday. She says, "Hi, honey. How are you holding up?" I do not like that. Holding up. It sounds like I am a wall or a roof, like I might crack at any moment. Lucinda does not wait for my real answer. She keeps talking. She says, "I see Karen Foster at the store yesterday. Her daughter is with someone new. She just turns 40. There is still time for these things, Eloan. There is really still time." I hold the phone in my hand. I look at the TV. The woman on the cooking show still smiles. "I know, Mom," I say. "I just do not want you to be alone forever," Lucinda says. "I know, Mom. You have so much to give a person, Eloan," she says. "I know, Mom." I say it 3 times. The same 2 words every time. Flat. Each time exactly the same. When the call ends, I put the phone on the table. I stand there. The word alone stays in the room. My mother says it like it is the worst thing. The worst possible thing for a woman to be. I am not sure she is right. But I am not sure she is wrong. And I do not know the answer yet. And that question is the whole story. I sit down at the table. My coffee gets cold. I drink it anyway. 3 months go by. October turns into January. My mother calls every Saturday, without fail. Each week she says one thing. Week 1. "Did you try that dating app Tamsin uses?" Week 3. "Your cousin Michelle gets engaged. She is 36. Week 6. "Eloan, to be alone is a choice a person makes." I say the same thing every time. "I know, Mom." but each call feels heavier than the last. This is not a mother who worries. This is a mother who pushes. She tells me who I am right now is not enough. I take on more work at the accounting office. I arrive at 7 in the morning. I leave at 7 at night. I eat lunch at my desk every day. I am good at my job. I always do my work well. One day, my manager Sybil stops by my desk. She says, "Elowen, you do more work this month than anyone on the team." I feel proud for one moment. Then I drive home alone. The apartment is quiet. The work does not fix the quiet. The busy day wears off every night in the parking garage. One weekend, Zinnia is at Evander's. I repaint the living room. I buy paint at the hardware store. I paint the walls light gray. Then I buy a new rug. Then new curtains. Then a floor lamp I do not need. I spend $600. I sit in the new gray room under the new lamp. The quiet is still there. It moves in with the new furniture. The gray paint helps nothing. Tamsin calls me one evening. She says, "Just download the app. You do not have to do anything." So I download it on a Thursday. I delete it on Friday. I download it again on Sunday. Men on boats. Men with fish. Men who smile at cameras. I delete it again on Monday. I do not feel sad about this. I just feel tired. One day, I walk into the break room at work. A coworker is there. Her name is Vada. Vada is not a bad person. She sees me and says with a big smile, "Oh, Elowen, I hear about the divorce." You know what? It is a good thing. Evander is not that interesting anyway. You will find someone better. You are still young. Well, youngish. She laughs. She goes back to her coffee. I stand at the counter. I fill my cup. I say nothing. Youngish. Not a mean word, just a careless one. But it lands inside me and stays there. I walk back to my desk. I open my computer. My hands sit very still on the keyboard. When Zinnia is with me, I know who to be. I am Zinnia's mom. I make pancakes on Saturday mornings. I help with homework at the kitchen table. I know what to say and when to say it. But Sunday always comes. Evander picks up Zinnia. The door closes. I am just Elowen again. And I do not know what Elowen wants. I do not know what Elowen likes. I do not know what Elowen needs. For 10 years, I am Zinnia's mom and Evander's wife. I do not know what is left now. Every Saturday, my mother calls. Every Saturday, she says she does not want me to be alone. I hang up the phone. I look at my gray living room. I think, what if alone is not the worst thing? I do not have an answer. But for the first time, I ask the question. It is February. Zinnia is at Evander's for 1 full week. At work, I carry a large client report. I work hard on it for 2 weeks. The numbers are correct, but a coworker calls in sick. His name is Mark. He calls in sick for 2 weeks. Sybil asks me to cover his work too, so I carry 2 full jobs. At the end of the week, the report goes to the client. There is an error in it. It is a small formatting error. It comes from Mark's section, not from my numbers. Sybil calls me into her office. She is kind. She says, "Elowen, I need you to be more careful. Your name is on this report." I say, "The error is in the section I get from Mark." Sybil nods. She says, "I understand, but your name is on the final version. I nod. I say, "It will not happen again." I walk back to my desk. I say nothing more. I take it in, quiet and still. I always absorb things quietly. I never make noise about what I carry. On Thursday evening, Zinnia's school has a winter concert. Zinnia has a small solo, 8 lines of a song. She practices in the kitchen every day for 2 weeks. I promise to sit in the front row. But the report problem goes on into Thursday afternoon. Sybil needs a corrected version by 6 in the evening. I call Evander. I say, "I run a little late. Tell Zinnia I am on my way." But I am not late. I do not come at all. I arrive at the school at 7:45. The concert room is empty. Rows of chairs, a few programs on the floor. A man sweeps at the back of the room. I stand in the doorway. I look at the empty stage. Evander brings Zinnia out from a back hallway. Zinnia is still in her concert dress. It is dark green with white buttons. She sees me. Her face does not fall. It does something worse. It goes careful, practiced. It is the face children make when they try not to show something. "Mom," she says, "did you see me sing?" I say, "I am so sorry, baby. I try to come." Zinnia nods. She says, "It is okay." She says it like an adult, not like a child. Small voice, eyes down. Evander says nothing. He puts his hand on Zinnia's shoulder. They walk to the car. I stand on the sidewalk. I do not cry there, but a child of 8 should not know that voice. She should not protect her mother from the truth. Zinnia learns that voice from somewhere. I know exactly where. Friday morning. I do not sleep much. Lucinda calls at 8. She does not know about the concert. I do not tell her. She says, "I think about you, Elowen. Karen Foster's son is single now. He is 42. He has a good job. Karen says she wants to introduce you." I hold the phone. "Mom," I say, "I cannot talk right now. I just want to help," Lucinda says. She sounds a little hurt. "I know," I say. "I know you do." I hang up. I sit down. Not on a chair. On the kitchen floor. Not because I fall. I just sit down and I do not get back up. The fridge makes a low hum. I think about Zinnia's green dress with the white buttons. I think about Zinnia's careful face. I think about Evander's jacket on the hook by the door. I think about Vada and the word youngish. I think about the gray paint. I think about Lucinda and her Saturday calls. She calls to tell me I am not enough as I am. I sit on the floor. I feel all of it. I do not try to fix it. I do not reach for my phone. I do not turn on the TV. For the first time in 4 months, I do not run. I just sit with all of it. The fridge hums. I stay on the floor. I do not get up for a long time. But when I do, something is different. Not fixed. Not healed. Just different. I wash my hands. I make a cup of tea. I sit at the table. I look at the second cup I do not pour now. And for the first time, I do not feel sad about it. I just feel true. Saturday comes, then Sunday, then Monday. I do things, I go to work, I go home. I do not try to fill the quiet with noise. I do not buy paint. I do not download apps. I just live in the quiet. It is not easy, but I stay in it each day. Tuesday morning, I put 2 pieces of bread in the toaster. I pick up my phone and scroll. I do not read anything important. Then I smell something. Both pieces of toast are black. They look like two small bricks of charcoal. I take them out. I hold them in my hands. I look at them. They look very funny. And I laugh. Not a big laugh. Not a sad laugh. Just a small, sudden laugh. Nobody is there. Nobody sees me. I am in my kitchen at 7 in the morning. I hold 2 pieces of black toast. I laugh because something small and silly just happens. That is all. I throw the toast in the bin. I put new bread in. I make real toast. I eat it, but something shifts inside me. I do not laugh for anyone. I am not strong for anyone. I am just a woman in her kitchen with burnt toast, and that is enough. On Thursday, I go to a small coffee shop near my office. I sit at the counter. I am tired. I do not read. I just sit. An older woman sits 2 seats from me. She is maybe 65. She wears a gray coat. She has good flat shoes. She looks at my cup. She says, "Earl Grey?" "Yes," I say. "Good for this weather," she says. "Yeah," I say. We sit in quiet for a few minutes. Then she says, "Long week?" "Long month," I say. She nods. She says, "Me too." She does not ask why. She does not give advice. She does not share her story. She just nods and drinks her coffee. After some time, she puts on her coat. She says, "I hope the month gets shorter." She leaves. I sit at the counter. This woman says almost nothing to me. She does not give me a lesson. She talks to me like a normal person, like someone with a normal, hard month. Nobody does that now. Evander is very careful with me. Tamsin gives me apps. Sybil manages me at work. Lucinda gives me solutions. This woman just says, "Long week?" She moves on. I finish my tea. I leave a good tip. I walk to my car. The night is cold. I do not think much about the woman, but I come back to the coffee shop on Saturday. I do not know why I come back. Maybe I just want to sit in a place with no version of me in it. No wife, no mom, no one's daughter, no problem to fix, just a counter and a cup of tea, and nobody who tries to change me. February becomes March. March becomes April. The weeks move slowly. I start to make eggs every morning, not for a big reason, just because I like eggs, and Evander does not. For 10 years, I make oatmeal every morning because Evander likes oatmeal. Now I make eggs with too much butter every single morning. Small, just mine. I buy a book at a drugstore one afternoon. The cover is not beautiful. The title sounds boring, but I read the first sentence on the back and I stop. I buy it. I read it in 4 days. The first book in 2 years. I do not know I miss reading until now. I go back to the coffee shop on a Saturday. The woman in the gray coat is there. Same gray coat. Same seat. I sit next to her. She looks up. She says, "Earl Grey again?" "Yes," I say. "You too?" "Always." We talk more this time. She tells me her husband dies when she is 51. She says it simply. Not a sad story, just a fact. I say, "How long does it take?" "Before you feel like yourself again?" She thinks. Then she says, "I still figure that out. I expect a number, a plan." "Still?" I say. "Still," she says. But it gets more interesting. The figuring out. At some point, it stops to feel like loss. It starts to feel like a project. I hold my cup in both hands. A project, I say. Yes, she says. A long one, with no deadline. She drinks her coffee. She says nothing more. I say nothing more. We sit at the counter. The coffee shop is warm. She is not a teacher. She is a woman a few years further on the same road, and that is exactly what I need to see. At work, I tell Sybil I want to step back from the extra projects. I need to return to a normal amount of work. Sybil says that is fine. The 2 projects go to Mark. 3 weeks pass. There is a small promotion announcement. Mark gets it. I find out. On a Thursday morning, I read the email. I sit at my desk. I think for a long time. I know I do better work than Mark. I know that. But I choose to stop carrying everything. And that choice has a price. I do not say I make the wrong choice. I say the price is worth it. This is what it costs when a person chooses themselves. I pay it. I do not fall apart. One evening, Zinnia calls from Evander's place. She says, "Mom, did you know elephants know themselves in mirrors?" I do not know that, I say. Most animals cannot do it, but elephants can. And dolphins. That is amazing, I say. Yeah. Do you think a person can know themselves if they cannot see their face? I stop. I think about the black toast, the eggs, the book, the floor. I think I just start to know myself, I say. Zinnia says, "Me too." She says it like it is a normal thing, not a sad thing, just a project. A long one, with no deadline. After the call, I sit with that for a long time. I do not get the promotion. I get something smaller. I get my evenings back. I get my mornings. I get eggs with too much butter. I get a book to read for no reason. I get to miss Zinnia the clean way, not through a fog of busy days. I get to start to meet myself. Slowly, a little awkward, but real. It is April, Saturday morning. Zinnia just leaves with Evander. I make 1 cup of coffee, just one. No pause, no second cup. I take it to the table. I move the table near the window back in February. I like the morning light now. I discover that in February, it is a small thing. It is mine. I look at the hook by the front door. The hook is empty. Evander's jacket is gone. I give it back last week when I drop Zinnia off. I see the empty hook when I come home. It feels like something at its end. Not painful. Just done. I look at the fridge. Zinnia's yellow suns are still there, but next to them is a new drawing. An elephant. Big gray body. Small, kind eye. Zinnia gives it to me after our phone call. She says, "Elephants know themselves. I think you should have one on your fridge." I touch the elephant with my finger. I smile. Not a big smile for anyone else. Just a smile. Just mine. The phone rings. It is Lucinda. Saturday, on time. "Hi, honey. How are you holding up?" That phrase again. But this time I do not say, "I know, Mom," 3 times in a flat voice. I take a breath. I say, "Mom, I need to tell you something. Please just listen." Lucinda is quiet. I continue. "I am okay. I am actually okay. Not okay, but I hide it. Really okay. I do not look for someone right now. I do not want to meet Karen Foster's son. And I need you to stop saying alone like it is a problem, because I figure out who I am, and it takes time. And I need you to give me that time. Silence. Then Lucinda says, I just worry about you. I know you do, I say. But you can worry without making me feel broken. Another silence. Then quiet. Okay, Lucinda says. Okay, Elowen. It is not a big change. Lucinda calls next Saturday. She may go back to old ways, but she hears it today, and I say it today. Out loud. With my own voice. That is the moment. The real one. I go out to the coffee shop. On the way, I pass a small bakery. I stop. I go in. I buy an almond croissant. I eat it on the sidewalk. I do not know I like almond croissants until right now. For 10 years, I order for someone else. I have many things to find out about myself still. In the afternoon, I meet Tamsin for a walk. We do not talk much for months. Tamsin asks, So what do you do with yourself these days? I think. Then I say, I make eggs a lot. I read a good book. I sit on my kitchen floor one night, and I do not get up for a long time. I tell my mom to give me space. I find out I like almond croissants, and I start to know what I want. I think. Slowly. Tamsin looks at me. Then she says, Aloan, that is the most I hear you say about yourself in years. I think about that. Yeah, I say. I know. We walk on. The April air is cold and clean. I say it all out loud, to a real person, with my own name on it. That is different. That is new. That is real. I am not done yet. I know that. There are Saturdays ahead that still feel too long. There are nights I reach for the noise again. There are mornings I make 1 cup of coffee and feel the weight of it. But I am here. I am present. I am Elowen, and I say so, out loud, today. And that is not the end. That is just the start of something true.